look out. Here come former SportsCenter anchor Bob Stevens, esteemed basketball coach Rich Basirico, and Hall of Fame sports writer Curry Kirkpatrick. And someone's going under the bus.
Welcome into Under the Bus. Thanks for joining us. Who can we throw into the bus for Game 7 of the World Series? What a game, huh? Let's start right there.
One of the best, don't you think? World Series, 7 games, all different things that happened in the game. How about the ball getting wedged on the out? How is that happening?
Sticking under. Is that possible? How is that possible?
I saw
on the fly. That's like making a hole in one.
I saw an analyst go out there after the next day before the 7th game, and he took a ball and threw it against the padding, and it bounced straight out. He said, "How do you wedge the ball in there?" And I don't really think it was really wedged. I mean, those guys raised their hand, but when they went to get it, they just picked it right up. I don't think it was actually wedged. Do you?
I think it was stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean between stuck and just sitting there, not rolling out?
If it's just sitting there, then it should have been in play, and the guy should have ended up with an inside the park home run, and it could have been a whole different story.
I thought the whole thing was one of the. I mean, we'll look back on this one of the epic sporting events of our lifetime. Really, when you consider the whole thing. Game 3 should have been a hint that what these teams were going to go through. 18 innings, and it's hard to. The batting, the fielding, it's hard to throw anybody under the bus. I would go to base running. I could give you 3. There's 3 different incidents of the Jays not coming up with the right decision on base running. But I want to start out by listing one of our favorite announcers right prior to Game 7. These guys are trying to make it historical and trying to figure out what to say. And it's right. There's not much to say. You just let it play out. But Derek Jeter, number 2, said, if you asked all 30 teams, you have a chance to win 1 game for the World Series, all 30 teams would take that.
Well, sure.
What is he trying to say? I'm trying to figure out is he trying to say that there should be just 1 game what is he trying to say, Bob?
I don't know.
I think he was probably pointing at Toronto saying, you had a 3-2 lead, you let it get away. But if I had told you back in March, you could have 1 game.
One game. Yeah. Well,
but now
they had their chances.
Excuses for Derek Jeter, that's not happening.
But think how many chances they had, guys. How many guys they left on base? Even in the bottom of the 9th, even after they gave up the home run to tie it, they had a chance in the bottom of the 9th to win it. All they had to do is get a fly ball because they hit a ground ball, and the guy actually bobbles the ball and still throws them out at home. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I even start with go back. I could even start with, go back to Game 3, the 18-inning affair. And in the 10th inning, bottom of the 10th, it's 5-5. There are 2 outs. Schneider is a pinch runner. He gets on. He's a pinch runner for France, who had singled. And that's the play where Lucas laced the ball in the right corner. And Schneider was off with the pitch, and the third base coach named Carlos Febles. I'm not sure why he hasn't gotten more attention, but he made a Febles decision to send Schneider, and Hernandez in right, and the cutoff man, who's Tommy Edman in second. Both have great arms, and they threw him out by a mile. Remember the play? He was thrown out by a mile. It was so stupid to send him. If he doesn't send him, he's on third base, and another Blue Jay is on second base. There's still 2 outs, but Guerrero is coming to the plate.
Right.
Now, they probably walk Guerrero, okay? But then they have Kiner Falefa is the next guy up, who had pinched run for Bichette. I mean, the whole thing is so amazing. Everybody's out of the game, in the game, and Bichette, had gotten hit. He's out. But so Kiner Falefa would have been, but I would have liked my chances of him rather than Schneider testing the arms of the LA Dodgers and being out by 15 feet. Yeah.
Well, usually, though, aggressive base running gets rewarded. In those kind of situations. This time, obviously, it didn't. I want to take out from under the bus, because he was probably going under it at some point, Dave Roberts, for just a move he made that we almost didn't even notice until it mattered, and that was putting Pages in center field.
I know. I noticed it. I noticed it because I said, "Oh no," because Pages is a terrible hitter. He's just terrible. That's why he had to. He went with him for 4 or 5 games, and he had to get him out because he can't hit. But he put him in for the car Edmund. He put him in for Edmund at center field, and I said, he's a tall guy, and I said to myself, well, I hope his place in the batting order is not coming up soon, because this is ridiculous taking out Edmund for Pages.
Right.
And unbelievable. Barger hits the thing, it sticks under the. No. That's the last. That was when Clement. That was when Clement hit
was bases loaded.
Yeah,
bases
yeah.
Loaded. Two out.
After they'd gotten the guy at home.
Correct.
For the second out.
Yeah.
And Pages leaps over Edmund to save the series again. I mean, what a play.
Yeah.
Rich, did he look that much taller than, I didn't think he was that much taller than Kiki. Because Kiki's trying to make the play.
He ran him over. He basically ran him over.
And he leaped
to play.
Oh, unbelievable play.
Hernandez had no shot. Hernandez wasn't catching that ball, was he?
No. Game over. Game over.
World Series is over. Think about it. World Series is over. Toronto wins. Toronto wins over.
2 words you'll be able to win a bet with years from now. Miguel Rojas.
Yeah.
I know.
That.
The extra inning home run, or the 9th inning home run to save the game. That's the
first time. You talked about the play before, Rich, where Varsho, the base was loaded. Varsho hits the ball to Rojas, who stumbles, throws the plate. They get him by inches.
Yeah.
And the replay shows that the catcher, Will Smith, just barely got him on the. But if you go to the tape, there's another base running thing here.
Yep.
This was Kiner Falefa going to the plate, and he took no lead. They showed him with no lead at all, and even his secondary lead, when Yamamoto is going to the plate, even his secondary lead, they measured later. They said it was something like 7.8 feet. It looked like 0 feet to me.
It was not much.
But even 7 feet is way over the normal. So if he just a couple more steps, he beats that throw easily.
Without a doubt. His excuse was that they told him to stay close to the base. They didn't want to get doubled off.
Well, that's been the Jays' strategy all year. They said they don't take a big lead.
Well, that's crazy, right? When he goes into as he gets ready to throw it home, you got to come off the base more, and then once he catches, you turn back up, run from back to third base up the third base line. So they have to throw it over your head or to the side. I hate to say blame it on him for the game and not getting down there, but he should have taken more of a lead. There's no doubt about it.
You can look, and then you talk about, Bob. You talked about aggressive base running. You go back to Game 6, and the ball stuck. Barger's on second base,
right.
And Jimenez is up, the 9th hitter. He hits that looper into left, and Kiki comes on, and Kiki said later he heard the crack of the bat, that the bat was broken.
Right.
And that ball hung up. That's why that ball hung up there. Barger is way off. He's going crazy to score. And he didn't hear the crack apparently, and that's why he didn't get back in time. Right. And they, because if he gets back their game,
right. That ended the game right there.
I thought Rojas made an amazing play on that on the pick where he caught the ball behind him. His glove, he twisted around and his glove was behind him when he caught the ball. These things are just astounding. Inches, baseball inches. Yeah.
Great little things. And yet, the MVP for once in a short series where you're trying to pick an MVP, for once it was easy.
He won three wins, right? He had 3 wins.
Yeah.
Correct?
He won the last 2.
So the first thing I thought about was Aaron Boone. He doesn't let his pitches go beyond starting pitches beyond 5 innings. This guy pitches 2 games back to back. I mean, Aaron Boone, we're going to hurt his arm. How can this guy do it? How can he pitch 96 pitches and the next day, within 24 hours, he's pitching again?
Yeah. Well, and he got more outs in Game 7 than any other Dodger pitcher.
Okay.
He threw 2 1/3 of innings and got
all 4 Dodger starters pitched in that 7th inning, and both. I didn't realize it till later. Both Game 6 and Game 7 ended with double plays. I mean, just think about this stuff. It's an astounding World Series. Just amazing.
All right, great stuff. Hey, while we're still on baseball, the contemporary era Hall of Fame ballot is out and is in the hands of certain folks, I guess, or maybe this is one of those committee things. I'm going to go through the 8 guys on the ballot, and I just want it yes or no, in or out.
Okay.
Barry Bonds.
No.
Oh, that's a drug thing again. He doesn't get.
Should he be in or not?
No.
Out.
Okay. Clemens, same thing.
Out.
All right. Carlos Delgado, who was a whole lot like Fred McGriff, hit a lot of home runs. Out.
Okay.
Jeff Kent, second baseman.
Oh, out.
Don Mattingly.
In.
The Yankees going for that one. Let's see. Gary Sheffield, in or out?
Oh, that's a close one. That's a close one.
That is a close one.
I'm
going to say in.
Bob,
is he played for the Yankees?
Bob, as they always say about this thing, if you have to think about it, he's not in.
Right, that's true. That's true, Curry. You're right.
Dale Murphy.
Oh, yes.
In. All right. And one more, Fernando Valenzuela.
Oh, in.
Yeah, in.
How many years did Fernando pitch? 2 or 3? It seems like. No, he pitched more, didn't he?
He pitched for the Cardinals for a while.
Did he pitch? Oh, he did. Yeah, that's when he was going over.
At the end, down the stretch.
Did he pitch
Bob,
more years?
Vote on this? When do they vote on this, Bob?
I don't know. It's in the not too distant future, but be curious to see how many. I think it's an old timers committee that gets to vote on it, but I kind of agree on Valenzuela and Murphy, and maybe Mattingly. He was awfully good, although the Yankees never won anything while he was there. Anyway,
I think Mattingly. Seriously, I'm serious about this. Getting to the World Series this year and getting some attention. I think people will remember that and get him in.
Yeah.
Well, think about some of the guys that just have gone in recently. Who was a player from Colorado Rockies? Oh Lord, Heaton.
Yeah, Hilton. Yeah, Todd Hilton.
Yeah. Well, what do they do? They never went to the World Series. I mean, what do they do? I mean, they take it on Mattingly. Well, they never made the playoffs, which is true. It's absolutely true. But some of the guys that have recently gone in, their teams haven't won the World Series. I don't think that's. Mattingly was at top of his game for all the years he played. I mean, he was terrific as a hitter and a first baseman.
All right, the first playoff rankings as we tape this show. The first college football playoff rankings are out. The top 12 have been picked.
Next segment, right?
Let's do that next. Yeah,
it's
a
tease.
We'll do that next. That's right.
A great tease.
Under the bus from this too, I would imagine. As we bring that to you almost as it happens. Under the Bus, brought to you by Hudson's on the Docks restaurant on Hilton Head Island, hudsonsonthedocks.com. Welcome back to Under the Bus. Bob Stevens along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico. The top 12 have been picked. And let's see. What do we got? We got Memphis at number 12. Virginia of the ACC at number 11. Notre Dame at number 10. Oregon at 9. Texas Tech at 8. Brigham Young at number 7, wow. Ole Miss at number 6, Georgia at number 5, Alabama at number 4, Texas A&M at 3, Indiana 2, and Ohio State number 1. So the Big Ten get the first 2. The SEC then gets the next 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Brigham Young is 7. And then Texas Tech of the Big 12, Oregon of the Big 10. That still just sounds stupid. And then Notre Dame, Virginia, and Memphis.
Doesn't Brigham Young play Texas Tech this week or something? Does Brigham Young play Texas Tech this week?
They still have to play Texas Tech. I know that. Yeah.
And Texas A&M. Texas has to play Texas A&M the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's yeah. But I think Brigham Young plays Texas Tech this week. Maybe they play somebody really good this week. I don't know.
Right now, they would be matched up against Notre Dame, which would be a great holy war.
I don't see any of those teams beating Ohio State. Do you?
Well, they looked good, didn't they?
Their defense is so strong.
They and Indiana
too.
Really, really good. A&M dominating so far the SEC.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still some landmines to be played there. So
when you start thinking Memphis, Virginia in the top 12, that's to me that's kind of some weak sisters there. I don't see Memphis doing anything over Virginia,
especially since it took miracle overtime for Virginia to beat North Carolina.
Right.
So I can't see Virginia in the top. Well, I got. Let's go to Under the Bus. Can we do that now? Because I'm gonna go because it's my first chance to be positive about the Tar Heels this week since they beat Syracuse at Syracuse, two of the worst teams in the history of college football played. And I just want to throw this Syracuse coach Fran Brown. Okay, he's Mr. Macho. He's Mr. Macho. He's the guy that doesn't shower after losses.
Right.
He did the side. So the Heels are up 20-10 after 3 quarters, and they're doing a sideline interview with Brown. And the reporter asked him, Coach Brown, how are you going to win this? And Brown, being Mr. Macho, says, score 11 points, man up, go down the field. We're going to show you this right now. I thought, oh my God, whoopsie. Final score 27-10. Final score 27-10. And Brown was using a lacrosse player at quarterback. That's not bad. It's not bad. That's probably why it's 27-10. But I wonder if he took a bath, Brown, after this.
Well, why does he take a shower after losses? What's the reason?
Maybe he's going to take baths after losses.
Does that mean so if he ends up smelling, his players will play better?
Yeah.
Is that what that's all about? I don't understand that.
He's a real man. I don't know.
He's a real man.
Speaking of a team that dropped out of the top 10 and is a disappointment every year is Miami.
They're out of the
big time.
Yeah, they're out of the big time. Hurricanes again. They're again one of the most overrated teams in the country every year.
We get beginning of the year with Beck being the quarterback, and we're talking about Heisman Trophy candidate, and they were beating people up on people. And look what happened now. They lost to SMU, right?
That's at SMU. It's the first time they played all year out of Florida. And, this Cristobal's teams always make stupid errors. They made 12 penalties. One of them, they roughed the passer in the closing seconds. They're up by 3. SMU has the ball. They roughed the passer after the whistle, after a timeout that Miami had called, that Cristobal had called. and it gave SMU position to kick the field goal to tie the game.
Yeah.
Then in overtime, I don't know if you saw this, but SMU went ahead, and Beck, who, as you said, Rich, Heisman candidate, #1 draft choice, all this bullshit. He throws the worst intercept. He's on his 10, and he throws the ball to the end zone at about the 3. He had about 5 minutes to throw it, by the way. There's no pressure on him. And it was intercepted, game over. I mean, it was awful. I mean, I don't understand. This guy Cristobal, they deserve to lose. They've got Cristobal had the ball. By the way, Miami got the ball in their own 25 with 25 seconds to go in regulation. He didn't even try. He's playing for overtime. He didn't even try to get in field goal position. I mean, what are you talking about?
He's very overrated as a coach.
Well,
I mean,
that's the fourth defeat in the last 2 seasons. He's been beaten by teams that were double-digit underdogs.
Yeah, they are ranked 18th in this first.
They deserve it. They was even.
Reveal. Actually, what I told you was the 12 that would be in the field and in the bracket. Actually, Texas and Oklahoma are 11th and 12th, but they would get bumped in favor of Virginia because they're the highest ranked ACC team, and Memphis, the highest ranked Group of 5 teams. So,
that's right. That's right. The winner of those leagues gets in automatically, don't they? Even if they're Virginia.
Well, Texas and Oklahoma should be there
on the list. Yeah.
Don't you think Oklahoma should be there? In Texas.
That's what's going to be really interesting is Oklahoma and Texas, because Texas beat Oklahoma.
Right.
Texas has 2 losses and Oklahoma has 1.
Right. And then, but there's the saying that the ACC has to have a team in there, and all these conferences have to have a team in there. You're not taking your 12 best teams.
No.
I mean, Texas and Oklahoma are definitely better than Virginia and Memphis.
The SEC would tell you that they have the 12 best teams, and
I think SMU is going to win the ACC. Actually, I mean, I think they're a legitimate top 12 team. SMU.
What happened to Georgia Tech? What happened to Georgia Tech?
Oh, well, is now 17th.
Okay,
right behind Vanderbilt. 16 Vanderbilt, 17 Georgia Tech, 18 Miami, 19 Southern Cal.
To get back to, I keep harping on SMU. President Bush was at the SMU Miami game, by the way.
Well,
and then he was at
everybody for money. So
then he was at the Cowboys game last night. He was moving around. This coach Brett Lashley, the SMU coach, who's one of the hot names for one of these openings, got an extension right before the game, and he was an assistant at Miami under Manny Diaz, who's now at Duke. Manny Diaz went from Miami to Penn State as an assistant, and now he's the head coach at Duke. By the way, he's a dark horse candidate. My candidate for Penn State now is Manny Diaz, because all these other guys are gone. But Lashley brought in a bunch of transfers from Miami to SMU this year, and he made 3 of them captains Saturday. and then of course he beats Miami.
Interesting stuff.
Miami's odds to make the playoff now went from 84% to 29%. Of course, it was announced tonight they're not in it anymore.
But this one doesn't matter. It's the one like 4 weeks from now, and there's a whole lot of football to be played from now to then. All right.
What are the odds more? What are the odds more coaches got fired? Your boy Freeze got it at Auburn, Bob. That was a given. That was a given, right?
That's for sure. Yeah, and did you know the offensive coordinator from South Carolina got fired?
I know. Now it's down to offensive coordinators. Shula, Mike Shula. Of course, he's used to getting fired. He got fired in the NFL he was the head coach in the NFL.
Wasn't he a head coach at Alabama? Wasn't he a head coach at Alabama?
Yeah, at Alabama too. Yeah. I thought he was also, maybe he was just assistant in the NFL. But South Carolina's lost 4 in a row. They're last in the conference in points and yards. Even when they have this quarterback, another Heisman candidate, number
Mel
one
Kiper's
draft choice.
favorite quarterback.
Yeah,
Mel Kiper's favorite
My favorite
quarterback.
quarterback. Yep, I'll take the blame for him.
Sellers, he's 6'3", 240. The guy, I don't understand. The guy is a molded. He looks like an NFL guy. It looks like first round draft choice when he gets out there, but he can't. He got sacked 6 times. He doesn't. I don't think he sees the field. He's got no rhythm. He doesn't see the field at all. Rich, you watched the game.
Yeah, it also looks like he has no offensive line, no running backs, and maybe one receiver. So he's.
If you don't have an offensive line, you're not going any place. It's been said over and over again. You don't have an offensive line, forget about it. And he doesn't.
They've got a Gamecocks have a whole week off now to think about firing the head coach instead of the assistant.
He should leave and go to Virginia Tech.
He'd have a job at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
The coach at Michigan State, Jonathan Smith, who came from Oregon State to Michigan State, they're trying to get rid of him. And I'm reading everywhere where UCLA already wants to hire him.
Really?
Go back to the West Coast. So I mean, you can win for losing and lose for winning. And
well, how about this one, Kelly? It's been coming out over the last week. Kelly from LSU, that the players, the administration, the assistant coaches didn't like him. His personality didn't get along with people. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And guess who wants to hire him? Oklahoma State. Now, why do you hear all this stuff about what kind of coach he is? Hey, that's great. That's who we want in our school now. You got to be kidding me.
But
why would you want him?
Rich, didn't it come out that Kelly didn't even know his players' names?
Correct.
Didn't it come out? He didn't know it.
Right. And did you hear the story about? Maybe I told this last. The assistant coach had a recruit on the phone. It said to Kelly, "Hey, I got this such and such on the phone. How about?" Kelly says, "Tell him to make an appointment." He goes, "No, coach, he's on the phone right now. He's on the phone. Tell him to make an appointment." What the heck is that? But Oklahoma State's going to hire. That's a great hire. I hope he goes there. I hope he goes there.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Go back to Auburn. They say that my boy Ben Franklin, who was supposed to be the guy at Virginia Tech's going to get him from Penn State, but if Auburn now opens, he's going to be interested in that.
Why would he do that? That's got to be one of the hardest jobs in the country. I mean, you're in the shadow of Alabama, first of all.
Yeah.
Then you're in the shadow of Georgia. They're actually closer, I think, to Athens than they are to Tuscaloosa. I mean, that's a brutal place to try to win. And I mean, better guys than he have won there. And why he would want to do that?
Because they coaches' egos are up here. They think wherever they go, they can coach there. He hasn't. How many big games has he won? We've talked about this all the time, but he thinks he's going to win a national championship, whatever school he goes to. So he'll convince some AD, and I'm the man. I'm the guy for the job.
And I don't doubt that he's a great coach. I'm just saying that's a hard place to win.
Yeah.
Even for all the recruiting opportunities, man. I mean, the smart guy was the guy named Smart, Kirby Smart, who went to Georgia, which is you've got everything there in order to win. And so he was the one who made the smart move. I think that's the best job in the SEC, way ahead of Alabama or Auburn, or LSU. But we'll find out. All right. Any more college? Let's go to the NFL right after a break. Could the Indianapolis Colts be a Super Bowl team? We may have found out the opposite of that this last Sunday. We'll talk more about it when we throw some more people. NFL people are fun to throw under the bus. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Under the Bus. Bob Stevens along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico. They're still the number 1 seed even after losing to the Steelers. The Indianapolis Colts in the AFC, and the New England Patriots are the 2 seed. What's going on here?
Well, the old New York Giants, Daniel Jones came out. I think he must have thought he was still playing for the Giants. That's what he probably thought when he went out there and played that day. He looked terrible.
He looked like Danny Dimes and Pennies, like he did in New York. Exactly. He made 5 personal turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. If that's, that may be an outlier, but I'm not sure. I think he may be going and taking the Colts with him back to mediocrity. If that's not an outlier, that's what's going to happen, right?
Without a doubt.
In the meantime, the Patriots are the 2 seed. They've
How
won
about that?
6 in a row. Vrabel's a really good coach, and
He is.
hadn't already proven it to us during his years in Tennessee when he took a group of people nobody could identify and kept winning and getting top seeds, and then losing in the playoffs. But
and why did Tennessee let him go? Why did Tennessee let him go? Think about
because he hadn't won the big one.
Yeah, well, guess what they're doing now? They could be the worst team in football this year.
It could be.
Well, you haven't mentioned Vrabel's quarterback. Excuse me, Tario.
He's MVP, Curry. He's on the list. He's in the top list for MVP.
He didn't. I'll tell you, he didn't play that well on Sunday. In fact, my under the bus guy, I was going to go right to the Atlanta poor kicker, Parker Romo. No relation to Tony Romo, but I wish he was. He missed an extra point with 4 minutes left. Would have tied the game. I mean, Atlanta drives down. Penix takes him down there. Got an extra point to tie the game. Misses the extra point, and the game ended that way. So I don't know. Romo, he was in the Pats camp apparently, and they cut him on release day. So the Falcons signed him. Right, the Falcons signed him on opening day after they quickly cut the longtime kicker Young-Ho Koo, who missed a tying field goal that would have tied the Bucks at the gun. They fired Young-Ho Koo so quick. And now they had Romo, and Romo was cut even faster than Koo on Sunday. On Sunday night, the Falcons signed another kicker named Zane Gonzalez, no relation to Speedy Gonzalez, although I wish he was. But it's okay. It's his 5th team. Where do these kickers come from, and how did they? Did they go round? It's his fifth team for Gonzalez.
Well, but then you'd be like a kicker like Will Lutz of the Broncos. And by the way, the Broncos might be the best team in the AFC. Either them or Buffalo.
Pretty good.
Will Lutz, who has done nothing for anybody except for Peyton, the coach of the Broncos, who had him in New Orleans, and he loved him. So that's who they signed a year ago or so ago. And Lutz, just the only guy he can kick for is Peyton, Sean Payton, but he keeps making them. Speaking of long,
I hope my boy Koo can get with another team, because I'd love to talk about him, kicking winning field goal. I'll give you a guy. This is sad for me to say, but it's obvious under the bus. Is the Washington Commanders coach Dan Quinn?
Yes,
who, by the way, personal note, my sister is Dan Quinn's mother's decorator. up in New Hampshire at their summer home. So they keep in touch with Dan Quinn. But how do you send that quarterback back in the game? How do you send him in a game 38-7? And he breaks his arm or something, elbow, whatever it is. I mean, he's the franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
What's that, Bob?
I said, I give Quinn credit for admitting it. He says,
come on. Everybody in the world knows it's his fault. He said after he didn't admit it. He didn't admit it till the next day. I mean, he had a lot of time to think about why
his wife told him to say that.
Why you would put in your thin, brittle quarterback who's the face of your franchise, who has four different injuries this year to 4 different body parts. How's that? And he has a history of injuries. How do you put him back in that game?
But remember, Curry, this is Washington, D.C., where everybody deny. That's what you
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Yeah. Well, season over for the Commanders.
Well, think about how good they were last year, and then Daniels
know,
being
but-
#1 pick. They were just raving about how good he was and how good the team was. Look where they are now. I mean, he's no longer the greatest quarterback as they talked about last year, how good he was.
Well, he
Happens
seems
all the
very
time.
fragile. He seems very fragile to me.
Yeah,
If
he
you look
is.
at him, he's very thin. His legs are like a deer's legs. I mean, seriously, the guy, where's his muscle mass? I think he should have worked on that at Florida State or at LSU. Let's blame Kelly for that.
That's
There you
right,
go.
Glenn Kelly.
We're blaming Kelly for everything else. Why not that too?
Yeah.
3 best teams in the NFC are Philly, Tampa, and the Rams. That about right?
I guess I like the Rams out of all those 3 teams.
Rams pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
They
well
just
coached too. Very well coached.
getting it down. Hey, we got a couple of minutes left here. Let's talk a little NBA and college hoop. College hoop beginning.
North Chapel Hill last night, Curry. What'd you think?
Well, our freshmen look great. We have a freshman guy and we have a guy from Lithuania or somewhere. I don't know. Bogovic, who just became eligible. We play Kansas Friday night in Chapel Hill.
Oh,
which,
wow.
which is the end of a home and home thing that they did last year. Carolina had not played at Kansas in 100 years. And so they made this home and home thing, and Kansas has never played in Chapel Hill. So, we got beat last year and maybe we can win, but Kansas is really good. They have one of the great freshmen, Darren Peterson, the guard, and our guy, Caleb Wilson is probably a top a lottery pick on our side. So, there's a lot of great games in the next month in college basketball.
Absolutely.
Duke is playing Texas tonight. I don't think Texas is that good, but Duke has another great game in the Jimmy V Classic. I think they play somebody really good. I can't remember. It might be Connecticut.
It might be. St. John's plays Alabama home on Saturday. I mean, at the Garden. They play at the Garden. How about this? How about Florida national champions? Supposedly the best front court in college basketball this year loses to Arizona. Not a bad loss. I mean, Arizona is good now, but if the guy had to wear his hat on right, he probably would have won the game.
You hate that guy for his hat. Well, Arizona comes up with a freshman named Koa, Koa, Pete, Peat. He gets 30. He got 30 against Florida. He was one of the great freshmen coming in, so we knew that. Florida's backcourt is all imported. Boogie Flan from Arkansas, and then a kid named Lee from Princeton. So their backcourt is Princeton and Arkansas. Figure that out. And they're gonna have work to do, but Florida's still really, really good.
Oh, they're good. They're very good, but they're coming from Arkansas, they're not well coached. So and Princeton guy is actually smart, but I don't know how good he is.
Dagger.
I wanted to ask you though, all these good games in November, do they mean anything? Do you learn anything about anybody from a game in November?
I guess a little. I mean, the coaches learn a lot, what kind of team they have for sure, and what they have to work on. But in terms of making the NCAA tournament, these games still count. I mean, they still count. So. But you're right, Bob. I mean, it's early. It's real early.
I'm curious. I don't know. You guys are the experts on college hoops.
I think that's why they schedule them. That's why they schedule them to know their team and put them in against. Used to be they'd play all these Central Arkansas, and I bring that up because that's who the Tar Heels played. And they beat them. They're the 354th team of 358 or something in the country, and we beat them by 40. But now we're gonna have to play Kansas, so it was just a warm up game.
Yeah.
And I think they schedule them for that reason, to find out if their team can play and against good competition.
So you try to get one of those maybe in November, maybe a couple of them in December before you start your conference?
Yes.
Well, they got
without a
two or
doubt.
three. Yeah, yeah. North Carolina's got two or three before they get into the conference.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. One in November, a couple in December, and
That's how you find out how good your team's going to be. I mean, you got to play good competition. Like Curry mentioned, Central Arkansas. What do you learn from that? I mean, you just get the guys out on the floor and play. You don't learn a whole lot from that. You got to play good competition. And of course, how many teams have not made the NCAA playoffs because they said their schedule wasn't strong enough? So teams are going out trying to, and then the mid-level teams get upset because the major teams don't want to play them because they don't want to risk losing to them.
Yeah.
So then the mid-level teams, they say, well, you need to play better competition. Well, we've been trying to, but we can't because no one wants to play us.
right.
You know, I mean, when I was at St. Leo, we played Georgetown, Providence, and DePaul. Why are we playing those three teams? Guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Same month, or was that different seasons?
No, same season.
Oh, wow.
We went up to Georgetown and Providence on a road trip, and then later in the season we played DePaul.
Your RPI was great.
Good for St. Leo. Good for St. Leo.
Well, Georgetown, believe it or not, we were I think within 6 points at halftime. Providence, Kevin Stakem hit his first 9 shots, and they took him out. We lost by 40.
Kevin Stakem, there's a blast from the past.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I wanted to make a couple of NBA notes because you guys know how much I love the NBA.
Oh my God!
Season. First of all, Giannis is averaging 34 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists already for the first 7 or 8 games. That's pretty good. But the best number, SGA is just had his 79th consecutive game of 20 points or more.
Wow.
Ties Oscar Robertson for
pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. That's darn good.
The only 2 streaks longer than 79 in a row with 20 points or more. Same guy, Will.
I was just going to say Will. Yeah.
He had a 120 game streak. I can't read my notes. 120 game streak and a 90 something game streak in his career of over 20 points in a game. That's
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Rich, I wanted to ask you this. Remember, we went to the NCAA's first or second round last year, right?
Right.
And we saw Baylor.
No, we went to the regional finals.
The regionals. That's right. 16.
Right.
Was Baylor in that? Was Baylor there?
I think so.
Or was Baylor the week before? I'm not sure. I went to both.
Yeah, Auburn was there for sure.
Yeah,
right?
well, I just bring this up because Baylor had a kid named Edgecombe, who turned out to be like the 5th or 6th draft choice. He's now with the Sixers. He's killing it.
He's good.
He's killing it. Everybody's saying this guy's amazing. When I saw Edgecombe and Baylor in the NCAA tournament, he did nothing in that game because I remember I was going to watch. I wanted to watch him because he was going to be one of the great, lottery picks.
Right.
He did nothing in that game. It was again. I'm trying to think. It might have been against Florida. Florida might have beat them.
Right. I think it was against Florida. I think it was.
He did nothing though. He did nothing. I didn't think he got 5 points. And now he's a star in the NBA in his first couple of weeks.
They don't play defense in the NBA. They don't play defense. Everybody can look good in the NBA.
Final guys under the bus. Rich,
okay, I got Clemson football. Clemson football. Now, you remember their stadium is called Death Valley because it's had such a home field advantage. They have lost 6 consecutive games against power conference teams. 6 consecutive home losses to power conference teams. That's not, and they always talk about how the advantage of going, Clemson has such an advantage of playing in Death Valley. They run down the hill, the crowd's crazy and everything else. And I've been there many times. It is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's not crazy right now. Death Valley is making them not doing very well. Right,
After
exactly.
Duke beat him in overtime. My first time Duke's beating Clemson there in about 100,000 years. But
Syracuse beat them.
after the game, Dabo was doing his press conference, and he pointed out back to 2010 when his team was 6-7. This team's going to be worse. He was 6-7 then, and he was thinking about it, and he said, "I'm in the same room that when we were 6-7, I thought I was going to get fired. I'm standing in the same room, and my AD is here again." So he said, "I'm thinking about maybe they're going to get rid of me again."
He's not in any trouble, but just remember his offensive coordinator is what, 8-1, Tony Elliott, now at Virginia.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his defensive coordinator is at Oklahoma doing fairly well too.
Yeah, Venables. Yeah. As a head
well,
coach.
their coordinators need to be probably let go. Seriously, they just. I mean, I don't know if you guys didn't watch the game, but Duke had some guys so wide open. I mean, sometimes with not anybody within 10 yards of the receiver. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Where did the guys go? They went to the snack bar? So the whole game. I think they were in the snack bar.
Didn't Duke have a 95-yard punt return or kick return also? Where nobody touched the guy.
Curry, they had everything they wanted. I don't even know if they punted in the game. I mean, it was disgusting, to be honest with you, as a Clemson fan watching that garbage. So,
Curry, got one more under the bus?
I got one short one.
Right.
Speaking of seasons that are over, the Cowboys, their season is over. I mean, it was embarrassing Monday Night Football. And I want to point out one guy. His name is Deron Bland. He's their defensive back. He's supposedly their best cornerback. I don't know if you saw this, but Marvin Harrison for Arizona caught about 7 balls in the first half. He caught one in the flat where he makes a quick move, and Deron Bland falls down, just falls flat down with no contact, and Harrison steps into the end zone. It was such an amazing fake out. Aikman is going nuts. He said, "We'll never see that. I've never seen that before. We'll never see that again." The guy, Bland, just falls flat on his face after Harrison makes the move. I mean, I'd say it was a bland response, but it was worse than that. had to get that in there.
Good stuff. All right, guys.
I have one question to ask you guys. Let's go back to baseball. Why did Kershaw have his shirt off after the game out in the field? I mean, it's one thing if you have a body that you want to show off.
Well, he's showing his man body. He had a great man body.
Why
is his shirt off?
Come on.
Rich, when you were, wait a minute, after your last game.
Yeah, you could do anything you want.
You did the same thing. I mean, you just said, I'm done. Shirt's coming off. I'm done.
Trust me, I wouldn't want anybody to see my body.
Rich pulled his pants off too, as I recall.
All good stuff. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Under the Bus, of course, is brought to you by Hudson's on the Docks. Hudson'sOnTheDocks.com is the website. We will talk to you next week. This is, we're having fun now. We're getting into the season. Take care.
See you guys. Thanks.